There are lines you don't cross in a neighborhood. Karen trampled right over mine. Only this time, the one she threatened wasn't me. It was my kid. My son, Ethan, is 12. Quiet, kind, awkward in that way smart kids tend to be. Loves chess. Keeps his room neat. Never even raised his voice at us, even when we banned Minecraft on school nights. Each morning, he walks to the bus stop at the corner of Willow and Grant. A 5-minute stroll. Safe suburb, tight-knit block. Lots of early joggers and lawn sprinklers. The kind of place where you nod at neighbors with your coffee in hand. At least, that's what it was before Karen. She moved in 3 months prior. White brick house, perfect hedges, 2 toy poodles that barked like air raid sirens, and a personality like HOA policy in human form. You know the type. Clipboard, complaint folder, ready to enforce rules she made up herself. The first time I met her, she was leaving printed notices in mailboxes reminding people to close garage doors within 7 minutes of use. The second time, she knocked on my door to report that our American flag was slightly fraying. I fixed it that day, not because she asked, but because I take pride in my home. But now, she went after something that wasn't hers to touch. It started on a Thursday. Ethan came home visibly upset. I thought it was school, a bad grade, a tough lunch table, normal kid stuff. But instead, he dropped his backpack and said, "Dad, there's this lady. She said I wasn't allowed at the bus stop." I paused. "What do you mean?" She asked where I lived. Said I didn't look like I was from here. She got close, like really close, and her dogs kept barking at me. I didn't say anything, just walked away. I felt my jaw clench. "Did she touch you?" He shook his head. "No, just stared. Said I was suspicious, like I was hiding something. That was it. I've seen a lot of my job. I've dealt with criminals, liars, and people at their worst. But I never expected someone would weaponize their bias on a 6th grader. The next morning, I walked with him. No badge, no uniform, just jeans and a hoodie. Karen was already out there, standing a little too close to the stop sign, holding both leashes, sunglasses perched like armor. She spotted Ethan, then turned to me. No greeting. "He doesn't go to school around here," she said flatly. "He does." She cocked her head. "Oh, haven't seen him before." I nodded. "We've lived on Willow Street for 12 years. Her nose wrinkled. "Strange. We've had break-ins recently. You understand why I'd be concerned. So many new faces." That word, new faces, carried weight. I felt it. I stepped closer. "Do you confront every child at this bus stop?" She crossed her arms. "Only the ones who act nervous." "He's 12, I said. "And you're stranger." "Stranger danger goes both ways," she snapped. That's when I reached into my back pocket, pulled out my badge. She froze. "You're a police chief," I said. "Been one for 8 years. Before that, SWAT. Before that, detective. You get the idea." Her mouth opened, but no words came out. "I suggest you walk your dogs, Karen, and stop interrogating children on public property." She stared at me, stunned, as Ethan stepped onto the bus. I didn't smile, didn't blink, just stood there until the engine rumbled away. I thought it was over. It wasn't. Later that night, I got a knock at the door. HOA notice. Hand-delivered. No return address, just a single printed page with bold letters. Child found loitering near intersection. Resident accountability required. Attached was a blurry cell phone photo of Ethan. I laughed. Then I scanned it and called the HOA chair. They were shocked. Said no such notice had been issued. That Karen had no authorization to print or distribute warnings under the HOA's name. They promised to speak with her, but Karen didn't slow down. She doubled down. The next week, a post in the neighborhood Facebook group. "We need to tighten community safety. Too many non-residents using our sidewalks. What if one of them isn't just passing through?" The comments were split. Some agreed, not knowing the full story. Others pushed back. Then someone posted, "Pretty bold to say that when the kid you're referring to is the police chief's son." That lit the fuse. I released the footage from a neighbor's ring cam. It showed Karen standing inches from Ethan, talking down to him, arms crossed, dogs barking. The audio wasn't clear, but the body language was loud. I added one sentence. "This is what my son walks through before 3rd period." It went viral within the neighborhood, then citywide, then beyond. Commenters called it out for what it was: harassment, profiling, power abuse under the disguise of safety. A local news segment picked it up. Then, national parenting forums. Karen went silent. But her silence wasn't enough to fix the damage. The HOA issued a formal apology. Not just to me, but to Ethan. They removed Karen from her self-appointed community watch. Issued a reminder that children should be respected, not monitored. Neighbors dropped off cookies. Letters. One man came by with his own son and said, "We're sorry. We should have spoken up sooner." But what struck me most was Ethan. He didn't want revenge. He didn't want her fired or humiliated. He just wanted to go to school without being afraid. That night, as we walked our block together, he looked up at me and said, "You're not mad anymore, are you?" "No," I said. "I'm proud." "Why?" "Because you handled it with more courage than most adults would." He smiled. We passed Karen's house. The porch lights were off, but a for sale sign had gone up. I didn't feel victorious, just steady. Because in the end, the strongest communities aren't built on fences or rules or patrols. They're built on knowing when to speak, when to listen, and when to stand still while your son finds his way through the noise. And that's what keeps a neighborhood safe.